A very good evening to you wherever you are. I am Sandra Isenamap and I'm here for business. Minority leader Haruna Idrisu is accusing the Bank of Ghana of breaching the Specialized Deposit Institution Act by failing to publish an inventory report on collapsed banks and microfinance institutions. The law requires that the receiver of such collapsed institutions submits the list of assets it takes over to the Bank of Ghana within a month. The BOG is then required to publish the list in newspapers, but that hasn't been done yet. Minority leader Haruna Idrisu has been explaining why this is important.
According to the Banks and Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions Act 2016, Act 930, Section 1301, and I quote, "A receiver shall establish a new financial position for the bank or specialized deposit taking institution based on a determination of liquidation values of the assets of the bank or specialized deposit taking institution, emphasis, values of the assets of the bank." Section 134, emphasis, the receiver shall within 1 month of taking possession of a bank or specialized deposit taking institution and transmit a copy of the inventory report to the Bank of Ghana. We are asking that where is the inventory report on the collapsed banks and on the micro and savings institutions? Was it remitted to the Bank of Ghana? If yes, where is it? We demand respect to the letter and spirit of the Specialized Deposit Taking Institutions Act 2016, Act 930. And that this country is governed by law.
Haruna Idrisu is also demanding an update on the 450 million cedis used by government in funding the Consolidated Bank Ghana, and also a disclosure of the real owners of the bank.
They have faulted demonstrably. They have not respected the laws of Ghana and the laws affecting those institutions. So they are simply not transparent. And then you heard the president himself say that 96% of depositors have been paid. An irony, why are the same depositors questioning it? If I got money, if I received money, I would know. There are many of them. So we are further demanding an audit of those depositors who have been paid in order for us to ascertain whether we can rely on the president's so-called 96%. God bless. Thank you. When government issued the sovereign bond of 2018, government again reported, and I'm quoting, that it was dedicating an amount of 450 million Ghana cedis for CBG to finance the sector bailout. We demand, who are the owners of CBG? We need to know, because public money is being invested in CBG.
Reacting to some of the issues raised by the minority NPP MP on Parliament's Finance Committee, Anthony Effa says an audit will not be necessary.
Cedis has been used to pay all the bank customers. 12 billion cedis has been utilized. Now, an additional 5 billion cedis was provided for the microfinance companies and the savings and loans company, the finance houses. And it adds up to about 92% of all the clients under these microfinance houses, microfinance companies, the finance houses, and the savings and loans companies have all been paid. Now, there is an additional 3 billion cedis that was reported in the mid-year review by the Minister of Finance about 2 weeks ago. An additional 3.1 billion cedis has been allocated for the fund management companies But now Securities and Exchange Commission says or explains that the process for liquidating these companies to enable payment has to go through the courts. It's not like the microfinance companies or the savings and loans companies. The Bank of Ghana just gave an announcement and then revoked all the licenses. There's a procedure that has to be followed before these companies could be wound up. Now, they're still validating some of the claims, and the Securities and Exchange Commission is on top of this. Right. Now, to request for an audit in the middle of the transaction smacks of, I don't know what to say, but it looks like we are leaving the procedures or the processes that we are familiar with in Parliament.
That will be all for now, but certainly I'm back after 8 p.m. with more business news. Thanks so much for watching. Welcome back to business. Former President John Dramani Mahama has described as wrong plans to give our 66% share ownership of Kotoka International Airport to Turkish firm TAM Suma Consortium. In an interview with Weasel and XYZ TV at Ketakrachi, the former president indicated that his administration has put in place the necessary payment plans for the newly built Terminal 3 to settle its indebtedness. He said there are several options available to managers, including sale of portions of land around the airport to settle its debts.
Former President John Mahama says privatization of the Kotoka International Airport should not be an option even if government is in desperate need of money to revamp operations. He suggested that government can decide to sell portions of land around the airport in order to generate the needed revenue.
And I think that that is absolutely wrong. Even if you sold some of the lands around the airport, you'll be able to raise far more than $70 million. So if it's $70 million we want, you know, I mean, the other ways of raising it, the value of the lands around the airport alone are far in excess of $70 million.
He further stressed the need for government to consider partnership and not surrender 66% shares of the airport ownership.
Given a concession to take over the airport and run it. The concession is a disguise. Behind that, in the period of the concession, 66% of the ownership share of the airport will be transferred to the Turkish company at a cost of $70 million.
Meanwhile, the aviation minister, Joseph Kofi Adda, in an earlier interview with Charles Aite, maintained that the airport needs strategic investors.
And I think going forward, we have to look at any of the strategic partnership. And that should bring a lot more to Ghana Airport Company. And so that was something that we're looking at in terms of what we really do with any entity that sees potential in Ghana that wants to be part of the operations of Ghana's aviation sector.
The State Interest and Governance Authority has justified support from Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, to government institutions and other firms in the name of corporate social responsibility. According to the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, GNPC last year spent $645 million to support some state institutions. PIAC warns the support outweighed GNPC's total equity financing expenditure and has called on Parliament to cap its expenditure. But Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, does not think that these concerns are well placed.
The Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Keke Sapon, has managed their resources very well, especially in the face of exploration of new oil fields. You know, the Volta Basin had gone on, and some other areas of work was being done. I mean, there was no cutback on those areas. But when COVID hit, corporate social responsibility, it's something that the company themselves have undertaken. The board has agreed that they should do some work within the local community. It's not something that is compulsory and it has to be done because it's by law. But it's good to do good things in the community. It's part of effort to help central government. But once they realized the impact of COVID, they realistically came down from 55 to 35, which is still not bad. I mean, 35 million Ghana cedi. And I know they've already started some projects already. I saw a project in the north with one of the, I think Dominic Dua was commissioning a project in the north. So they are carrying on, and it's not.
Now, the world is certainly driving towards an ICT age, but how much revenue is government generating from the e-commerce sector? Well, in our quick take today, we tell you how government intends to generate revenue from the tech space.
One of the sectors that has really benefited in these times have been the ICT sector. Is it possible? Can we ever mop revenue from there in terms of taxing?
Any company that plays in the ICT space, as the regulator, we want to register them, right? Also, individuals who are in this space, whether it's at a graduate level, practitioner, or professional, we want to also register you. And therefore, if you don't do these things, if you are ever applying for a government contract, it will be one of the requirements that PPA will look for.
How soon is this going to happen?
We are working on it right now.
Time now to do some trading in commodity news. Thanks so much for your time this evening. There's more news on myjoyonline.com/business. I am Sandra Esinam Afeno. Thanks for watching.